Hello, hello, welcome back. Today we are discussing episode 13 of the Dicely campaign. So, I don't think that this episode turned out the way any of us thought it was going to. Did it go well? No. So the party is united, we have a name, we're feeling good. I mean, not really, because Azaria aged many years in the last episode, and Abe is going through a sensory deprivation crisis. Drax's brother is nowhere in sight. Nell's family is frozen in time. Gideon suffers nightmares every day of his life. And Elwyn's cursed to live in the body of a child, but other than that, we're doing just great. As much as the party wants to go to the library now that we have cleared the ghosts out of there are certainly some more pressing matters in this crime that's taking over the city. So we head back over to the guard captain in the morning and discuss with her exactly what is going on with this city. She tells us that there has been a huge increase in crime, and she thinks that this is attributed to a number of new gangs that have recently moved into the city. She tells us that there's always been a regular old thieves gang around here, but recently, it seems like 3 new gangs have also moved into the city. She doesn't really seem to know a lot about them or why they're here, but she offers to set us up with a leader of the thieves gang that currently runs in the city. We kind of suspect that maybe they don't love that there's a bunch of new crime happening in here also. So maybe we have a common goal in trying to get these gangs to leave. We agree to take a meeting with this leader, and we head down into Appletown and meet up with him at the Jolly Goat, the super seedy bar in a very seedy part of this city. I cannot imagine that our crew looked like we fit in there, even a little bit. Even with Nell's attempt at disguising her clothing somewhat. Even so, we do get there and we meet up with the leader. He introduces himself as Cowl of the Cowl and Crew gang, and he does have a little bit more information about these gangs for us. Like Janet told us, there are 3 gangs and they each hang out in a different district of the city. The Stormguard gang is blue, and they're generally known as thugs and brutes. The Maryhall gang is in yellow, and they're tended to be known as do-gooders, kind of Robin Hood style, steal from the rich, give to the needy kind of thing. Except for maybe they don't really give to the needy. And the Shenkurai Syndicate, I'm just reading my notes, and I have no idea what this word is supposed to be. Shenkurai Syndicates. They're red. They're into sabotage, spying, information brokering. Kella also tells us that the people that are here are smaller parts of much larger gangs. The true leaders of these gangs aren't here. They have some sort of lieutenant that's running them while they're in Ballenbridge. And it seems to be that the reason that all of these gangs are here is that there is a big contract that they're all fighting for. Howell tells us that he received a letter and assumes all the other gangs also received this letter, asking them to perform a relatively quick job, and if they do complete that job, they'll be given instructions on the next place they can go to meet and learn a little bit more about this final contract. It's some sort of smuggling gig, but it's going to be very lucrative according to this letter that they all received. So this explains why all the gangs are here. They're kind of all in a bidding war to get this contract. Cowell's not interested in his gang participating, so he doesn't know anything about this meeting that's being set up. So with this information, we start to formulate our own plan. We're thinking that if we can take out the leader, whoever's offering this job, there will be no reason for any of the other gangs to stay here. We're thinking we're going to try to get to this meeting. Cowell gives us the job that his gang was given to complete. They want us to go to one of the restaurants in the city and get them to commit to switching their wine supplier. They want to see a ripped up contract from Percival Wines, which is a prominent seller. At first, we think that this is probably going to be relatively easy. If we can just explain ourselves to the restaurant, of course they'll just let us do this, right? Turns out that's not the case. The dice, I think, we're just not on our side today because we have 0 luck convincing anyone to help us. And we just kind of stumble our way around the city, trying to find Percival of Percival Wines to see if he knows anything about who else might be trying to take over the wine supply in this city. Talking to the restaurant owners doesn't go well. We even get in trouble for loitering at one point. It's really just kind of a disaster. At the end of all that, we're in a much worse situation because now our options are really like, we could go try to find someone from one of the rival gangs and like beat them up and get them to tell us where this meeting's going to be, assuming that they did do the job they were asked to do. We could also actually sneak in, grab the contract, try to rip it up, but we don't actually even know where the contract is. If it is at the restaurant, who knows? Abe has offered many times to go in and try to convince them himself, which doesn't feel like the morally correct choice here, but maybe. It's all kind of bad. So we're wandering around trying to just figure out what on earth we're gonna do now when a small creature jumps onto Azaria, grabs the letter that we've gotten from Cowl and crew, and runs off into the streets. That is where the session ends. We're gonna start next session up with a chase sequence, which I'm very excited about. I think it sounds like it's gonna be really cool and like a fun little puzzle. And also, I think the group needs to reset their brains a little bit because we're in a weird space of talking about who we're gonna beat up right now to try to get this information, and I don't totally know that is the vibe of the party. Maybe if we catch this guy, we can get some information out of him, and then we didn't even really have to do anything wrong because we were just trying to get back what was ours. Also, if we lose this piece of paper, I'm pretty sure Cowl will not be happy with us. And then we will have an entire gang in Valenbridge that doesn't like us. And that seems like it could be a problem. So I'd rather not explore what that looks like. The next episode of Play Dicely actually will not be this Saturday. It's going to be Saturday the 30th of October, which means it's going to be a spooky episode. I believe the cast will be dressing up, so you gotta come stop by for that episode. And it cannot possibly go as bad as this one did. But my friends, that is all for this time. If you want to watch our episodes live, you can do so on Twitch at twitch.tv/dicely. And if you want to catch up on any of the VODs, those can be found on YouTube. All of the links are in my bio. But that is it, my friends. I hope you are all staying happy, staying kind, and remember, as always, to play dicely.